welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney. I am a mom of 9. Several of my children are homeschooled and some of them are in public schools, but today is another homeschool video for you guys. Today I'm going to be doing a Good and the Beautiful review of their curriculum. Now we use pretty much, or have used, everything they have, I think, except for language arts. So I have some math, handwriting, and science that I'm going to go over with you guys today, and I'm going to tell you what we thought about the programs, pros and cons to all of their programs, and what we will be using or won't be using in the future. If you like this video, like it, subscribe if you want to, leave a comment down below on things you'd like to see from my channel. Still very new here, trying to figure this out, what you guys like, what you guys don't like. So if you have any video suggestions, drop them in the comments below. But here we go. So I guess I'll start with the big one, which is their math. So I have their math level 1, I have their math level 2, and I have their math level 3. I'll start by saying we will not be using this in the future, not because it's not a good program. So let me go over the things I really like about this program. I'll start with Math 1. This will probably just be the one I use to show you guys things. This program is really nice to look at. My kids enjoy the artwork in them. My kids enjoy the games. They really do like this program a lot. My 4th grader does not. She does not like this program, but the rest of my kids do. The problem we have with this program is that it's far too teacher intensive. With as many kids as I have homeschooled, it takes way too long to teach multiple grades or multiple levels of this program in a day. It's very overwhelming for the teacher, not necessarily the student. I will say it is a spiral-based program, so if you have 2 or less homeschoolers, you could probably pull off 3. I struggled when we had 3 doing this program. It's a spiral-based program. It is not a mastery program, and so with that, you get a review of concepts every so often, and they continually add things in. I will say that does not work well for my children. I am a homeschool mom of many children that have special needs, be it speech, math, ADHD. I have one homeschool child that has ODD, and then 2 that have speech disorders, and 1 that is a possible dyslexic, but she's still kind of too young for us to know. She's been tested multiple times and it just comes back inconclusive every time. So this does not work for my kids. If your kid thrives on a spiral-based program, this is for you, 100%. It's a beautiful program. I will say some of the concepts, the way they teach them, I feel like they could be taught in a simpler manner. They do kind of overcomplicate some things, but each lesson, they're all laid out the same way. So each lesson you start and you do this verbal, oral kind of review with your child, and then there's the teacher-student part. So this is a teacher-student, and in the blue it'll tell you to read to the child. You read the black, and then you go over this section with the child, and then you do that 3 to 4 times each lesson. And this is always for new or recently introduced concepts. And then I would say that takes about half an hour to do if you want to do it well. And then there's another section just like that. Sometimes every few lessons there's a game that you play with the math box. Now I did not bring the math box for this specific book in the room with me, but the games can take a while. So when you're doing homeschool for multiple children, I would say that probably is not in your scope of practice. It's not in mine. I think it takes too long, and while my kids enjoy games, I'd much rather spend that time playing a game with all of them together than multiple games individually, if that makes any sense. And then each lesson also has a review section, which this is my favorite part of the program. each lesson at the end, you review every concept just about that you have gone over in that unit. And then you have unit assessments, which we have not actually gotten to one yet, because we're on lesson 25 in level 1. So I would say that if you have a student and you're only homeschooling like 1 to 3 children, that thrives on a spiral-based program, A+. The good and the beautiful is where it's at. If you have students that do not thrive under that kind of program and do better under a mastery type program, this is not for you. This is not for you if you have more than 3 kids. I am still doing math level 1 with my first grader right now because she enjoys the program, and we're a good way through this book. We're 25 lessons in, and I don't want to switch her, so we are going to finish this book, but when we are done with it, we will be switching her over to Math UC, which is the curriculum that half of my homeschool children are using right now. And I will say the math level 1, they haven't switched. So if you notice right here, this is the math level 2. It is not spiral bound. This is falling apart already. You can't really tell on camera, but I have seen this complaint from multiple homeschool moms on YouTube, and this just does not hold up. I believe they are changing this, though. I don't think this is here to stay. I think this is the new way they're doing it, and this one, as you can tell, is holding up a lot better. This one is also still being used. Now, all of their math curricula come with math boxes. There's stuff falling out of this one. I didn't put the clock on this one because we have the clock on the level 1 one, and I wanted to save these pieces in case the level 1 clock fell apart. We have not had that happen yet. But in each manipulatives box, they have all the pieces that you'll use for the games. This one's a little shook up. We were actually just using this. My only complaint about this is that these coins are very dark. They're very hard for my kids to see, so I actually just let my kids use a poster in my room with actual photos of the quarters and the nickels, and if they need to get up and compare them, if they want to do that, I let them, but they have a really hard time telling any of the silver pieces apart because, on camera is about what it looks like in person. I can't tell these. The only reason I can tell them apart as an adult is because I can tell the difference in the size. But I have to really hold these up close to my face to see the prints on them. You'd be better off using real money if your kid is not like my children and doesn't try to put things in their mouth that don't go there. But they have these really nice like airplanes that you use a lot. These are like Monopoly pieces, so if you ever like graduate from this program, throw these in your Monopoly board game. There's a jetliner. There's these die. The money, the cash, I will say, I like the way the cash looks. I wish they would have put the presidents in the center, but these come with every unit. And I think that's a plus. Any math program that comes with its own manipulatives, I'll take it. Less work for you as a parent, keeps the kids interested. So for us, the good and the beautiful math didn't work, but it does work for a lot of people. I will say when we got up to this program, that's when things started getting sticky. I'm listening to my kids yell at each other. All they're supposed to be doing right now is coloring a Bible page. I was trying to keep them busy for me to do this. And anyways, but we got here, and this is the level where it really started getting sticky for us, and it was taking an exceptionally long time to complete lessons. So this is kind of where I was like, this is not it. If you have someone that's really good at math, this is for you. I would say try it. Worst that's going to happen is you wasted $30 and switch to a different curriculum. But I will say it's a beautiful program. It's a spiral-based program. It's good for people with 3 or less homeschool kids. It comes with everything you need. So if that's what you're looking for, take a dive into it. I really liked it. If I didn't have so many kids that I'm trying to teach at once, I would have stuck with it. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So that's it for the math. It made me really sad. I really wanted it to work. It was one of those programs I saw and I was like, man, this makes my heart happy looking at it. My kids would like it, and they did. It just didn't work for our collective homeschool dynamic. Next is our science units. So I have the botany unit and the space science unit. So we're going to do this one in the fall. I have one kiddo doing the space right now, but we're doing botany right now. I'm kind of doing it to go along with planting our garden. So a lot of our experiments are happening in our garden. I'm not necessarily doing these here. I will say this in itself in a unit, like a standalone unit, if we were just using this book and you weren't putting your own resources into it, is not going to be enough for kids in grades 5 and up. I would say that you need something a little more detailed, but for me, I use this right now for a kindergartner, a first grader, a second grader, and a fourth grader. And it works for us. It's simple, it's to the point, it's not overcomplicated. But if you're using it as a science curriculum that you're wanting great detail in for an older kiddo, you need something more. Again, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful curriculum. I will say they are experiment heavy. You need stuff for almost every lesson. I have been not doing their experiments and adding in my own. So when we get to flowers, whatever their experiment is, we will actually plant our own flowers, and we will do multiple kinds, so the kids will get to grow their own flowers. But each very simple. So parts of a leaf, changing leaf colors, all these beautiful pictures with descriptive definitions. This works really well for young kids. They have these journals. It says grades 3 through 6. I would say more like grades 2 through 4. It's a little too complicated for my first grader, but my second grader gets it. This is the space science one, and you can see it's been colored in. So these were black and white. They had them color in the stars according to temperature. Just very simple activities. Again, a lot of the stuff I end up reading to my kids, and then they match it to where it goes. Very basic. I will say, this will not get you through a whole year. This might get you through 3 months of science. So if you're looking for a full, like 1 year curriculum, this is not going to do it for you. You're going to need to order multiple units, which I kind of knew when I ordered these. So since my kids are behind, I was aiming for like a science that would get us through about 6 months of school. So I ordered 2. I think that's going to pan out the way I wanted it to. But if you're looking for a full 1 year curriculum on a student that is on grade level, you're going to need probably 4 of these for the whole year. So if you go in knowing that, and go in knowing that these are pretty like experimental, there's lots of experimental stuff in them, lots of activities, then you're going to love this program. It's a beautiful program. It's easy to understand. I like it. We'll probably, I don't know if this will be our science curriculum full force, but we will probably always kind of keep one of these on hand at all times, because they're nice to have. There's lots of information in them that is broken down in a very childlike way that I can appreciate, because I've got lots of little kids. But if you're looking for like middle school science, I'd say probably go somewhere else, look somewhere else, or do this in conjunction with another program. So that is it for the science. I would say if I had to give it a grade, I'd give it a B. We will keep using these for now. My middle schooler is doing biology through Memoria Press. We just recently started homeschooling him last week. It was a very abrupt decision, but I'll get into detail about that without giving it too much detail about him specifically. But there's a reason we pulled him from school, and this is too easy for him. So we ordered him a full biology curriculum. So he's in 6th grade, just to give you an idea. And I would say he's a little bit behind in the science area, but not too terribly behind. Now, here is where the good and the beautiful is winning for me. Their handwriting program is out of this world. I mean, and handwriting is so simple, it's kind of hard to mess up, but somehow people do. This is the level 3, so my 1st, 2nd, and 4th grader are all using this, and then next year when my kindergartner moves up to 1st grade, we'll have 4 kids using this. This is the 3rd grade level. Each level that we have used, we have liked, and it's very simple, to the point, but if you see the dots up here in rainbow order, that's the order. I know it's showing backwards on the camera, but that's the order that they follow with their pencil strokes. And to me, that is what has won this curriculum for handwriting. It also doesn't go too fast. There's lots of like trace these words, and then they'll give you like a handful of letters to do every day. They also incorporate drawing images, so seeing what you see when you draw something. I think, like this one says, copy the plants. I think that is very good for motor skills, fine motor skills, especially with kids who struggle with fine motor skills. So this one says, copy the ladybugs. And then you see they give you 4 letters over here, and then down here, it says cover the section above with a large index card and write each letter pair. If needed, remove the index card to view the color guides. So it gives you the guides, and then it gives you the letters without the guides. And at this point in the lesson, it's trying to get you to be able to do it without using the guides. I think that this is the best program that the Good and the Beautiful has. And as simple as handwriting is, it is oh so important in a world where our lives are being run by computers. You still have to sign your name on documents. You still have to write checks for things. This is important. I feel like it's a lost art, and so my kids will be continuing to use this program until I find something better. And I don't know that I will. This one is an A+ for me. If I had to grade the math, I'd give it a C. But that's simply because it didn't work for us as a family unit. But it will probably work for most people. I guess that's it for today's video, you guys. If you guys want to see more curriculum reviews from a new homeschool mom, someone who had no idea what they were doing 3 months ago, let me know. I think I was watching lots of reviews on people who had been doing this for years, and they kind of knew what they were doing. And so when I went into some of these programs, I was going based off of that information, but it wasn't necessarily the information that I needed. So if you're a new homeschool mom and you're trying to get your bearings going, I hope that this helped you. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.